Hey everybody, Craig Clausen here for Single Length School. That's right, it's been a while, but we're back. I've got some exciting news, and we're going to cover a little bit of a topic today, especially getting into the season. So, if you guys haven't been here to Single Length School before, do me a favor. Click the button below and subscribe to our channel, and then hit the little bell, and that way you get notifications every time we have a new video coming out. So I want to talk to you briefly about what we're going to be doing in this upcoming year, how Single Length School has changed, how we're evolving, and more importantly, as we go through these videos and we get into different things, we're going to show you our goal at Single Length School is to teach everybody to lower their scores by golfing smarter, not harder. So the first thing I want to talk about is a couple quick changes. I know it's been a little bit of a period of time since our last video. I think our last video was in June or July of last year. What happened? Well, I didn't fall off the face of the earth, but I've actually been working on an addition at the house here that's taken up a lot of my time. I haven't had a chance to get the videos out like I wanted to, but now that that's wrapping up, we're coming back. So another big thing to look forward to is once a week, probably starting next week on Thursdays, I'm going to be doing a video podcast. I guess that's the best way to put it. But what we're going to do is we're going to put out a YouTube video, and chances are, as we evolve and we go, we're even going to make those YouTube videos live, and we're going to talk about the state of golf. So we're not going to focus strictly in on single length and one length irons, but we're going to talk about what's going on in the world of golf. I'm going to have some viewer interaction, have some of you guys maybe call in and discuss certain things about golf with us so we can interact with our viewers and everybody that watches Single Length School here on YouTube. So let's get to today's topic. With it being 2020, we're halfway through February now, we know that at least for the majority of people, golf season is not far off. People in the South and certain areas have the ability to golf all year. I'm in the Northeast up in Pennsylvania. It doesn't happen that way. But a lot of people are starting to gear up for the golf season. So what we want to talk about is, are single length or one length irons right for you? Are they going to help your game? Should you move from the standard variable length irons to one length irons? And if so, why? So there's a lot of benefits out there, and I want to give a quick shout out to a new Facebook group out there. So if you guys are watching this video or looking for a group on Facebook where you can interact, I just found one the other night. It's a new group. It's called Playing with One Length Irons. Find the group. Some good guys in there. Want to help them build the group, get everything up and rolling. Good interactions, but check those guys out. They're really good. I'm in there. I interact as well. But so let's talk about one length or single length irons and how they can improve your game if you're not already playing them. So one of the things that immediately you're going to find when you go to single length or one length irons is improved consistency with your iron strikes. So what I mean is, because your irons are all the same length, whether they're 7 iron or 8 iron length, you're going to be able to hit the ball with any of your clubs a lot more consistently than you would your standard or traditional set, because you're not fluctuating with lengths. Because your length is all one size, you're actually able to just set up and swing the club every time the same. Doesn't matter if it's your 5 iron or your 9 iron, you're using the same swing, the same stance, everything. And what that does is help improve your consistency and help improve your ball strikes. So that's one of the biggest positives, and probably the most positive thing about one length and single length irons is improved consistency, which overall is going to lower your scores. So on the flip side, what's the struggle? Why do some people steer away from one length or single length, or why do they try it and go back to the regular lengths? The hardest thing for people to overcome is the mental side of things. And what I mean is understanding and getting over the fact that your 5 iron is now the same length as your 7 or 8 iron. And that is a hard thing for a lot of people to overcome. If you can't get it through your head that you need to set up your 5 iron or your 9 iron the same way you set up your 7 or 8 iron, you're going to struggle. It's got to be the same setup, the same swing, the whole way across the board. That's why consistency gets a lot better with single length irons. But if you can't get it through your head, then you're going to struggle and you're going to turn around and give up after a couple weeks of trying, because you're not getting yourself in the right position to maximize the benefit of these single length irons. So that's a huge downside. Another downside is getting comfortable with the shorter clubs, your wedges being single length and longer than what you're used to. Because of that, if you're not using the same setup, then your wedges are going to fly further because you have an extra inch of length on the shaft. So there's a couple cons, but overall the pros outweigh the cons, because after you get comfortable with the single length irons and the one length irons, when you know that you're hitting it well, you're going to drop those scores, you're going to lower your handicap. So now the next question is, okay, I'm committed, I want to try single length, one length irons. How do I do it? Where do I go? Where can I pick up a set? That's a great question. There's lots of places where you can pick up sets of one length irons. Obviously, Cobra's the big name out there, and with Cobra you're going to spend a little bit more because you're paying for a name brand. But there's a lot of other companies out there, Single Swing, Pinhawk. There's a couple other ones where you can get intro sets for a couple $100. So you can go to a company like Hireko.com, Hireko.com, or Diamond Tour Golf. They both work on customizing golf clubs, their clone sets, things like that. They offer single length sets as well. So if you want to get into the single length or one length game and do it inexpensively, a couple $100 just to try out a set before you decide to go spring $1,000 on a Cobra set, that's a good starting point. Now, what I will tell you from my experience using some of the inexpensive sets versus the Cobra sets is you'll notice a little bit of a distance loss, just because the full technology that Cobra has is not built into some of those sets. So I know I was about a club short when I was starting out with single swing compared to my normal clubs. Then once I switched over into Cobra, I started with the F7s, my distances came back. So when you get there, get it tested. When you're testing out single length or one length irons, you're looking for consistency, straighter shots, better ball striking, more control over your iron shots as opposed to distance. Once you get into that zone and you understand that you're more consistent, you're hitting the ball straighter, then you can feel free to go ahead and jump on a set of Cobras that's going to give you a little more distance. So, for instance, here's been my progression into the single length, one length world. I started with the single swing set, 4 through lob wedge, about 3.5 years ago. Noticed at that point I was a 15, 16 handicap. I was having trouble controlling the ball with the regular irons. My 4, 5, 6 irons were all over the place. My lower irons were usually pretty good. Got to the single swing set, used those for about a year. Was able to start shooting some career scores even though I lost the distance. Low 80s was something I rarely did with a regular set of clubs. Once I got into the single swing set, low 80s was a consistent thing. So I was comfortable. I went to the Cobra F7s. I was able to get those on a really good deal at the time. First time I broke 80 in my life using the F7s. I got a little bit more distance out of those compared to the single swing, but the consistency was big. So first time I broke 80 was with the F7s. I used those all of last year, and actually, so we're talking a progression of 3 years where my handicap was 16, 17, floating around in there, to the end of last year, my handicap is sub 8. And I have shot multiple rounds in the 70s. So, and that's all because of single swing. I promise you, my driver hasn't changed much. Still the same problems with the driver, but the irons have gotten my game that much better. Now, this Christmas, there was a great deal on Cobra for Black Friday. My wife, being the beautiful woman that she is, I had my eyes on the Cobra Forge Tech Black one lengths. Well, that was my Christmas surprise. So I now have those in the bag. I've been fortunate enough to get a few holes in there, about 18 total holes with those clubs, and about 5-6 trips to the range. I went to the Forged because I feel so much more comfortable controlling the ball than now I'm comfortable drawing and fading the ball, and I wanted something in the Forged realm. And I will tell you, using these Forged clubs, I went out for a 9-hole round about 3-4 weeks ago with my daughter. Up until that point, I've never shot better than even par on a 9-hole round. Take them out, first time I fire a 1 under round. So the one length, single length idea is a great idea, especially for amateurs if you're new to the game of golf and you're trying to figure out what clubs are best going to suit you. I'm going to tell you right now, one length, single length are the best choice for you because you eliminate a million different variables based on length and where you need to place the ball in your swing, all of that stuff. And again, if you're looking to increase your accuracy with your irons, you want to get better with your irons, you want to, throw those darts at the flags, switching over to one length is a good option to help you get that consistency, get a comfort level to the point where you can actually now feel free to fire at those flags because you know that you've got the same setup, the same swing. It builds your confidence. So again, guys, plenty of reasons to switch over and try one length. They may not be for you, but if you're looking for a way to improve your game, you want to lower your scores, definitely give single length or one length irons a try. Like I said, there's plenty of places to go. Give them a shot. But if you guys have already switched to single length or you're thinking about switching to single length, I want to interact with you. So in the comments down below, tell me why you've switched over to single length or why you want to switch over to single length. Is there a specific reason? I just want to get everybody's feel and see what everybody's doing. But, comment below. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications button, and don't forget, next week, hopefully we're going to bring you the new video podcast section where we're going to talk everything golf. We're not going to focus on single length. We may touch on it, but we're going to focus on the world of golf in general. So make sure you subscribe so you know when we go with that video next week. Aside from that, we're going to try and put out another video every week that will focus on single length irons, one length irons to help you guys lower your scores, give you guys some tips, do some reviews, get out on the course, do some different things with the course. So a lot of great things coming in 2020 from Single Length School. I appreciate all you guys following, subscribing. Don't forget, we're on Facebook and Instagram at Single Length School. Over on Twitter, you can find us at One Length School. So be sure to follow us, like our pages. We'll have great content going there as well. So from Single Length School, myself, Craig Clausen, I hope everybody has a great day. And remember, at Single Length School, we want to make you play smarter golf, not harder golf. So play smarter, not harder. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks a lot.